well. Solar, what does that mean? In this case, it means, solar usually means sun. In this case, it's the sun and the planets, what's called the solar system. Nebula, if you've ever heard the term nebulous, it often if someone is referred to as having nebulous thinking or nebulous explanation, it kind of means foggy or hazy. And that's actually because it comes from a Latin root for cloud. And now the term theory. Theory in our common way of speaking is quite often just kind of dismissed as, oh, it's a guess. But in science, a theory has an entirely different meaning. A theory is essentially an explanatory framework that explains a bunch of observed facts. So, for example, as we're going to learn later on in this chapter, all the planets orbit the sun in the same direction, in a counterclockwise view when viewed from above. That's a fact. Now, how would you explain that? Well, you explain it by the solar nebula theory. So a theory in science is, like I said, an explanatory framework. It explains away a lot of facts and observations, data. Now, the solar nebula theory essentially is what you see on the screen here. The idea that the sun and the planets, our solar system, essentially arose from a cloud of gas and dust in space that started to rotate about 5 billion years ago, contracted into the current objects, the sun, the planets, and as we're going to learn, comets, asteroids, etc., etc. That's the idea. That's the theory. Now, this theory has been around for several hundred years. And there's been, it is the leading theory. There are other explanations as to how the solar system came to be, but this one is the one that has the most support. Sometimes people ask, well, do you believe in this theory? I don't buy the term believe. It's what do I have confidence in? I don't really like the term belief. I like the term or the idea, what do I have confidence in? And the theory that has the most confidence at this point in history is the solar nebula theory. It has the most evidence that backs it up. Now, a good theory not only should have explanatory power, but the best theories have predictive power, meaning that not only do they explain what we're seeing in our own neck of the woods, but if this is the way solar systems come to be, we should be able to see this around other stars, because our sun is just one star among billions of other stars. If this is how our solar system came to be, shouldn't the same thing be happening in other solar systems or around other stars? And it turns out this is only a development of the recent decades. Only within recent decades do we have the technology that allows us to peer into other stars and see stars and solar systems forming. And that's the cool thing. Even though this theory has been around for hundreds of years, its true predictive power has not been able to be tested until more recently, and all of our tests, all of our observations for what are called extrasolar planets are indeed confirming the solar nebula theory, that this didn't just happen for our solar system, but indeed other solar systems are forming in similar ways, which again is more evidence, more confidence in the solar nebula theory. Again, a theory, as I'm trying to impress upon you, is not just a wild guess. We have a thing called the germ theory of disease. If you have an egg salad sandwich, sitting out on a park bench all day and you decide, okay, I'm going to eat it, it's going to make you sick. Well, why is that? Well, one explanation could be that there's a demon inside you that does not like egg salad and wants to get rid of it. But that's not really a good explanation, and it wouldn't predict that other people would get sick from the same if they ingested the same spoiled sandwich, because that would mean they would have to have demons inside them as well, and everyone had that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. A better explanation, an explanation you can have more confidence in, is the fact that there is bacteria that grow on that egg salad sandwich, especially on a warm day, microbes that when ingested into your body reacts to and tries to get rid of them. And that would explain not only why you got sick, but it would also predict that if some other joker walked along and ate that same sandwich, they would have a similar reaction. So that's essentially the solar nebula theory. And like I said, in science, a theory has both explanatory and predictive power, which indeed the solar nebula theory does.